I am James Kotecki, and I'm here with Paul Mitchell, the CEO and president of Energy Systems Network, the organizers of the Indy Autonomous Challenge. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. And first, we should probably just explain, what is the Indy Autonomous Challenge?
Well, glad to be here. Indy Autonomous Challenge is a prize competition among leading engineering universities from around the world who are competing to develop autonomous software that can race fully autonomous vehicles for a $1 million prize. So it is a head-to-head competition with world-class race cars that are being piloted entirely autonomously.
Why is racing a good testing ground for autonomous vehicles? Most of us, if and when we do get to ride in AVs, it's not going to be in a race car setting.
Yeah, well, a lot of the development of autonomous vehicles that we're seeing today are low-speed applications, right? They're people movers, they're maybe robo-taxis. There is some deployments that are on highway with heavy-duty trucks. But motorsports in general and race cars give you an opportunity to push technology to the absolute limit, right? It gives you the ability to test these edge cases where you're looking at not just can an autonomous system work, but can it work at extremely high speeds in very close proximity, in a matter of inches from other vehicles or from a barrier like a wall.
CES 2021 was your first CES. It was also the first all-digital CES. What are you excited to be showing and be doing at CES 2022?
Well, the experience of doing virtual CES was actually pretty exciting. It worked well for us because at that point we were unveiling our car for the first time, and we liked being able to show it off live from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That was kind of a cool unveil. But I am pumped about the idea of bringing these cars to CES, right? And having them within the pavilion where people can come up and see them and look at the technology. They are the most advanced autonomous vehicles in the world. And it's cool that we have a lot of our sponsors, a lot of the companies that are part of the Indy Autonomous Challenge, almost all of them actually, are exhibiting at CES. And so the opportunity to sort of have that interaction of companies like Luminar and and Aptiv and others that are really have a big presence at CES, being right next to us and being able to kind of share stories about the Indy Autonomous Challenge and how their technology that they're showcasing is included in these race cars is kind of going to be fun.
Cars, even non-autonomous cars, are sometimes called computers on wheels nowadays. So what kind of computing power is actually required to put into an autonomous racing vehicle?
These are the smartest, robotic cars in the world. They have multiple perception systems. So we have LiDAR, radar, optical, advanced GPS. We have a supercomputer from AD-Link.
So Paul, you mentioned that teams for this competition come from all over the world. Tell us a little bit about who some of these teams are.
Yeah, so we have started out with something like 40 universities that signed up to be a part of the Indy Autonomous Challenge. And we now have 10 teams that operate fully autonomous race cars. They're made up of a mix of universities still from around the world. We have Technical University of Munich. We have the Polytechnic in Milan. We have teams from Korea. We have a couple teams from Alabama, both Auburn and Alabama, MIT, Pittsburgh, Purdue, University of Hawaii. I could go on and on. So it's really a broad mix of top engineering programs from across the US and around the world.
Well, Paul Mitchell, the president and CEO at Energy Systems Network, the organizer behind the Indy Autonomous Challenge, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you at CES 2022.